Okay, just to start, to give you a broad overview of our financial benefit calculator. This is our input and output page. If you look at the instructions up here, you'll see that each of these yellow boxes is going to be a different input, and in each of these inputs there's instructions for what exactly needs to go in that box. Off to the right here, these green boxes are going to be the outputs that the user is looking for. And then all of these other boxes are just calculator tools. They're helpful information if the user wants to know what they are, but they're not necessary for this particular tool. So to start, and just as a demonstration, I'll go through and I will pick different random values for each of these inputs and kind of give you an idea of how this thing works. So to start, we'll start with our current pay grade. So let's say our user is considering getting out of the Army and they're looking at being an 04 right now. They've been in the Army for, we'll say, 16 years. So as you can see, you put in this rank, you put in the years of service, and immediately the base pay updates to the $7,353.60. This is a monthly salary, and this is just based off the government documents for what their pay is. So now we'll look at special pay. As you can see, the instruction says to insert their monthly special pay total. This could be anything from flight pay to hazardous work pay. So we'll just say they make $725 each month for special pay. So immediately in this reddish column here, you'll see it updates to being the base pay and the special pay. Now we take this and multiply it by the total yearly pay, which is just taking the monthly pay by 12. So that will just give them what they can expect to make in a year. The next step that they have, this yellow step, is to enter their estimated year of ETS. This will just be when they're planning on leaving the Army. So if the current year, which is down here, which updates automatically, is 2015, and they're thinking they're going to stay in maybe for another 2 years, so we'll put in 2017, and immediately this updates the years of service left, which is just 2. The next input is the zip code. This is just where they're living right now, where their post is. As you can see, West Points is already in there, so we'll just leave it at that. And that updates the MHA code, which is then used to calculate the BAH, because the BAH tables are based on MHA instead of the zip code. The next input here is the number is whether or not they have dependents, and this is just a yes or no, so we'll say yes. And the BAH per month updates to a higher number to compensate. So now they input what their projected rank will be at ETS, so we'll say since they're an 04, they have another 2 years. We'll just assume that they'll reach 05, and that their total years of service now will be this 2 years plus what they already had. So we'll just say 18 now. And as you can see, the projected pay, again, this is a monthly number, updates based off these 2 inputs. This BAH, again, it also updates based off the rank, and then we can have them put in based off, well, if you read the instructions here, it says select your tax bracket from the chart below and enter the percentage as a decimal. So if we look at their projected pay being $8,281, this is monthly, so let's look at their total yearly pay, so $96,000. That puts them in this tax bracket right here, so that'll be at 28%, so 0.28, and so now it updates to the percentage for their taxes. If we move over to the right column, this is looking at all the different things for the GI Bill, which is based off months of service. If you read the instructions, it just says insert the number of months that you have towards the GI Bill. 16 years in, he's definitely going to have over 36, so we'll leave it at 36 because it says if you have more than 36 months, just input 36, and that's going to give him 100% of the GI Bill. So now we'll come down to this state of education drop down, and we'll say that they want to study in Michigan. So that updates this tuition, which is the average in-state tuition they can expect to get. The zip code, we're just going to leave that how it is because I don't know the zip code for Michigan. And this will calculate what their BAH is, which is based off E5 pay for education, and then for the entire semester, assuming a half-year semester. And adding these together, it'll give us the total compensation. If we look down here in this bolded square with the green cells, this gives each of the outputs that they're expecting to get. So we have total monthly pay, taxes, monthly pay at ETS, monthly BAH, BAH at ETS, and then that present value for one semester of school. So essentially they'd want to come across each of these yellow brackets or the drop downs and put in the inputs based off their specific information, and then look over these green cells to get the outputs they want. The way that this works is just each one of these different pages has different sets of data, and then using some Excel calculating power like VLOOKUP and what they input, we can go to a specific page and figure out what zip code they are, what their BAH can be with dependents, without dependents, information on the GI Bill, and all of this data is just kind of the backbone, which is ultimately going to give you these green cells and the output that they expect.